Hey guys, so I'm making this video to answer a question that I thought about myself, and I also saw people asking it on the Facebook ASRV squad page. And it was concerning about the water resistance on the Tetra HIPORA hoodie. And now I haven't ordered one, but I would imagine it's the same Tetra Light as this hoodie, as this quarter zip. So I wanted to show the level of resistance on different materials, because some people think about this one being super water resistant to being in the rain, but like on ASRV's website it says mild rain conditions outside, and I agree with them because it'd be more like for misty temperature. Their winter lineup, they always release HIPORA in their jackets, which is, in my opinion, waterproof and not water resistant like everything else. So I have the LG Tetras, the LG Tetra High Rib, Tetra Light High Rib, Tetra Light Quarter Zip, the Mantra hoodie that's supposed to be water repellent since they added a technology to it that I forgot. I'll put it on the screen. Quarter Zip Tetra hoodie, and then their winter lineup, like I mentioned. This was their 2018 HIPORA, 2017 HIPORA with a mix of their other material technology. Full 100% HIPORA 2017, and then their 2016 parka. This one has like the water repellent outside exterior and has the waterproof lining inside. And then I have a couple water. I don't have any spray to like be able to like simulate spray like misty conditions. So that my reasoning for wanting to test all the fabrics was because on my road trip I was using these and I had a cup of iced coffee in my hand. You know how like iced coffee starts to like the moisture outside of the cup, like the condensation, and then starts like spilling everywhere. I thought that was fine. I was like, okay, cool. And I was like noticing then when water drops first start out to be like watery like that, but after time it just became more and more apparent that it was just like soaking through. So the point I was like, oh wow, it's not really repelling anything, and it just like soaks through. And of course we can see that it holds up to it, but slowly but surely it'll start like becoming like moist and becoming to like very wet. So I'll leave that like that for a while, and then like as you can see on the left side, the OG Tetras, they're doing a much better job repelling the water. And slowly, I think it's better than the Tetra Light, because the Tetra Light just starts soaking it instead of just holding it on top. And here's the OG Tetra. And then these are really good at repelling the water. They'll just like keep it on, holding it. So I did this outside also to like help like see how like the water is drying or repelling off it. And here, just with a little bit, you can see that it's starting to create a pool of like water right there instead of being like the other two. So then if we move on to the Tetra Light hoodie, this should be exactly the same as that. It's only gonna repel, but eventually soak in through. And this should be like the Tetra. It should not let anything perforate it, and it should just hold on to the water. So you can see like that, it's just, just hold on to it. And then I brought this the Mantra hoodie out. It's really easy to tell if it's falling off it or it'll just start soaking in. It'll hold it in, but if you like smush it in, it'll start getting drenched. Just like misty conditions, but it gets pretty wet over time. The S tier material, in my opinion, is the HIPORA lineup, except like this, so the inside will get wet. But this, I feel like you can just do that and wipe away, and it'll eventually dry off, but it doesn't really penetrate. But something about these that they're from ASRV that is that they don't really advertise them to be like conditioned in like the other ones that you can like do full workouts in. They're like to get you in and out of the gym, and more like for commuting, which I really like, since I really don't work out in the parkas, which like falls off like nothing. And then I think this is the superior one out of all the materials. This one does all right. I really don't wear that one, so I doubt people have this one, the mix of the exterior and interior. But I feel like some people might have this one, the all black HIPORA jacket from 2017, and this one I feel like it's just completely waterproof and nothing, which I feel like sometimes people try to think about the Tetra Light or Tetra being like HIPORA, but HIPORA is not a stretchy material at all, so it does a really well job at being waterproof. But if we come back to the others, here we have it. This one held up really well. feels a little wet on the outside, but inside's completely dry. This one did an okay job as well, but because of the sun, it still like retains the moisture in. But Tetralite is not doing very well. The water penetrates it and gets inside. And this one, it's the same. I didn't like smush it in, press it in like the others, but it does not. I don't feel confident doing the same thing. It'll hold it, but eventually it'll make its way through and get the inside wet. But it does a really well job. Like, alright, so that's getting messy. So here I'm gonna let these sit like this for a while. I'll let you see how it does. It's holding the water top of itself really well, but just from like touching it under here off camera, you can feel it getting a little moist and wet. And here's the Tetra, and it's also doing it well, but doesn't penetrate as much as the Tetralite. And this one just doesn't retain it at all. It just lets it fall off like nothing. And this one's the S tier waterproof, so I would say slowly but surely the water resistant is noticeable but not waterproof. I feel like this is the superior out of all three of these. Show you guys in a second. So here some time has passed, and you can see that there's an outline of water where the water has penetrated through, and then that's the same for this right here, where the spots where I like dropped the water and like pressed it in. The Tetra hoodie, it didn't penetrate, it just dried off. And then this one, it didn't penetrate either. One of the reasons I think the Tetralite is not as waterproof, or it feels like you're getting damp real quick, is because they don't have like an interior fabric like the OG Tetras and the OG Tetra high ribs. They have like an internal mesh into them, and just like this one, so as the water did penetrate them, they still have another layer to go through. But unlike the HIPORA, which I believe to be like the waterproof one, the gold standard Tetralite is not that way, because it's more of a stretchy material. Like they've advertised like the 4-way stretch and the 4 components that make these. So just like the last example, I just like pour some more water and just like drench it, and then these can just like fall off, and you can just see like how the water's just sliding off. And like this one, it'll just like begin to like absorb it. Repellent, but it'll begin to absorb into the fabric. And the same as like this one, it'll just like repel like nothing. And I hope this helps.